show you how great I am.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I am the king of the world.
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please share this video, support your boy, support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. This video is sponsored by my boy Matt. Definitely check his apparel out on IG at WeAllFrom, WeAllFrom. This video is also sponsored by my boy Fast Classic. His mixtape is in the description box. It's free of charge. Definitely give him a download, give him a listen. It's one of my personal favorites. Now, let's get down to it. Was Jermell Charlo robbed against Tony Harrison? It's crazy the shift in opinion as far as myself and a lot of other people, but we definitely gonna get right into it. Now, let me just give you the backdrop. Now, Tony Harrison defeated Jermell Charlo by unanimous decision on Saturday on the first Fox card. Now, let me give you the backdrop on what was going on with me during that fight. Now, I watched the fight live on Fox. I was texting back and forth with my boy, The Blunt Truth. You see him in the comment section all the time. Now, I was watching the fight and I did not score it. So, I was watching it mainly for entertainment purposes. Okay? Now, at the end of the fight, this is exactly what I said. Tony Harrison fought well, but he didn't do enough. And then I also text The Blunt Truth, and I told him, I said, Tony Harrison boxed beautiful, but somebody forgot to tell him that he had to fight tonight. That's exactly what I said at the end of the fight. So when Tony Harrison was announced the winner, everybody in the crowd was upset. And I realized a lot of things after this fight and after the decision of this fight. When you're watching a fight live, okay, on TV, the announcers are very important. I see why people watch fights with the sound off. Because the announcers basically, they control what you possibly look at. They'll say, hey, look at this fighter and what he's doing. Look at this fighter and look what he's not doing. Like, the announcers are supposed to paint a more specific picture of what's going on in the fight. And a lot of times the announcers are biased. We've accused HBO of that. Showtime has started doing that. Bottom line is the announcers, and I'm not even going to say all of the announcers, but Lennox Lewis is horrible. Lennox Lewis is horrible. He's one of the great heavyweights of all time, man. But as an announcer, he is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Because if you have to take it in the context of, if it's a casual fan, the announcers are supposed to be the experts. Lennox Lewis guides you the wrong way damn near in every single fight that he announces. Every single fight. But the thing is, watching a fight live and not scoring it, quite naturally you're going to look at the more aggressive guy. Jermell Charlo was the more aggressive guy. You got the bull and matador type thing. Jermell Charlo was the bull. Tony Harrison was the matador. But a lot of the times, Tony Harrison was in the pocket and was the matador. I'm not going to lie. When I watched it live, I thought Jermell Charlo won the fight. Simply off of aggression. I'm not going to lie. My brain was poisoned by the announcers. And that's an admission for me, because anybody that listens to the channel know I will get at a judge in a heartbeat. And I had a guy that I listened to, a YouTube channel, go by the name of Nino Brown Boxing. Big shout out to Nino Brown Boxing. That he immediately put up a video and he said he had it a draw. And there was other YouTube channels that was like, oh my God, this was a robbery. This was a robbery. But like the guy that I was texting back and forth with, the blunt truth, he was saying he thought Tony Harrison either won the fight or it was a draw. And Nino Brown Boxing was like, yo, like I had it a draw. And I'm like, yo, I was like, these are two guys that I respect in terms of boxing opinion. And there's other guys that I respect that was saying like, yo, like it wasn't a robbery. And I'm like, yo, let me go back and watch this fight. I was like, let me go back and watch this fight. So the next day I went and I watched the fight, sound off, and I had it a draw. I had it a draw. And I'm going to give you guys my breakdown of my scorecard. Now, round one, I gave it to Jermell Charlo. I have an S next to it. So that for me, a S for me is a swing round. A swing round is where a round is extremely close and it can go either way. Round two, I gave to Tony Harrison. Round three, I gave to Jermell Charlo. Round four, I gave to Tony Harrison, but I have a swing round for that. Round five, I gave to Tony Harrison, swing round for that. Round six, I gave to Tony Harrison, swing round for that. So after 6 rounds, I had Tony Harrison up 4-2. Round 7, I gave to Jermell Charlo. Round 8, I gave to Jermell Charlo. Round 9, I gave to Tony Harrison. Round 10, I gave to Tony Harrison. So after 10 rounds, I have Tony Harrison up 6-4. I gave Jermell Charlo round 11, and I gave Jermell Charlo round 12, which gave it a draw, 114-114. Now, I have a total of 4 swing rounds, round 1, round 4, round 5, round 6, that were close. And I had someone in the comment section of another video tell me to check round 11 because they felt like Harrison won round 11. After sitting down and watching this fight with no sound and completely focused, my job is strictly to judge a fight, I came up with a draw. Now, me coming up with a draw is not the important thing. The important thing is that my opinion of the fight was completely different from what it was live. And I think the one of the few people that gets on judges more than I do is Teddy Atlas. And we all know Teddy Atlas from ESPN back in the day, USA Boxing. You know, he's a great trainer. We all know Teddy Atlas. He's hardcore, don't hold his tongue or anything like that. And this is the reason why I love dropping videos maybe a day or two later than the actual fight. Teddy Atlas actually put a video up on Instagram, which he never does. And Teddy Atlas actually said that he had to be consistent with his opinion and he had to give judges credit. And he felt like the judges in the Jermell Charlo Tony Harrison fight got it right based off of the criteria on how you supposed to judge a round. And that says a lot from Teddy Atlas. So I'm pretty sure Teddy Atlas probably scored the fight, and he probably scored it for Harrison. But I think I score fights similar to how I would say Teddy Atlas scores fights. And the thing that's crazy is for Teddy Atlas to drop a video like that, that says a lot for him as well, because he grinds up these judges. And I think that's where I get it from. I think I get it from Teddy Atlas, where just a lot of these judges either are blind or corrupt. And that's the same thing that Teddy Atlas said. Now, going back into like the actual fight, this was my thing. Before the start of the 12th round, Jermell Charlo's trainer asked him, was he tired? Jermell Charlo just gave him this look like, what the fuck you mean? Am I tired? No, I ain't tired. And Jermell Charlo's trainer told him to go get him. Go get Tony Harrison. Now, I'm all for finishing fights strong. I don't believe in just sitting on a lead. Hell, I hate it when football teams sit on a lead, prevent defense. But Jermell Charlo's trainer specifically told Jermell Charlo to go get him. Go get him. Like, they wanted the knockout. Go get him. I'm curious. I would love to talk to Jermell Charlo's trainer, who is the same trainer as Errol Spence. I would love to talk to his trainer, because with him giving out that type of advice, I'm wondering, did he think that the fight was tight? Did he think it was close? Did he think that Jermell Charlo was in danger of losing the fight? Is that the reason why he told Jermell Charlo to go get him before the 12th round? And I don't think anybody has asked Jermell Charlo's trainer that. Hell, I might find him on IG and I might actually ask him my damn self. But I thought it was very curious. And the reason I said that is because live, not only did I think that Jermell Charlo was winning, but everybody in the crowd thought that Jermell Charlo was winning. I'm pretty sure everyone on TV felt like Jermell Charlo was winning. So for Jermell Charlo's trainer to make a statement like that, it just didn't fit the vibe of the fight live. And on top of that, when you actually pay attention to the numbers after the fight, Jermell Charlo missed a whole lot of shots. He missed a whole lot of shots. Now you look at CompuBox, and I don't like really looking at CompuBox and punch stat numbers, but it was glaring the amount of shots that Jermell Charlo missed. I felt like Jermell Charlo, just to break down the actual fight, I think Jermell Charlo, the way he fought in the first 30 to 45 seconds of each round is the way he should have fought the entire round. That's number one. So basically from 3 minutes to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, Jermell Charlo was very aggressive, coming at Tony Harrison and really trying to throw punches. And I felt like Jermell Charlo should have took that approach the entire fight. But for some reason, after the first 30, 45 seconds, he just stopped doing that and just turned it into a chess match, which is right up Tony Harrison's alley. Okay? Second thing with Jermell Charlo, and this is, I'm not a boxer. I'm not a fighter. I've never put gloves on before in my life. Been in fights in the street, but not in a boxing ring. And this is just from the outside looking in. It seems like it's easy. It was easy for Tony Harrison to adjust to Jermell Charlo's punches because everything was coming at the same speed. Everything was coming at the same velocity. Everything was coming from the same angles. And you know what it reminds me of? I say the same thing about this other fighter too. Amir Khan. Amir Khan may be the fastest guy in the game in terms of just pure hand speed. But everybody can adjust to Amir Khan's hand speed because he throws at the same speed all the time. He doesn't throw, if you wanted to compare it to a pitcher in baseball, like Jermell Charlo was just throwing straight fastballs, 99, 100 miles an hour. He wasn't throwing no curveballs. He wasn't throwing no change-ups. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't throwing no balls in the dirt. He wasn't setting nothing up for the fastball. He wasn't setting the fastball up. Jermell Charlo wasn't throwing any shots to set up the fastball, if y'all get where I'm going. And I think that's why Tony Harrison had so much success actually making Jermell Charlo miss. And even when he did land, it was ineffective, or he rolled with the shot. Another thing is when Jermell opens up to punch, his middle was wide open. Jermell Charlo doesn't throw wide shots, but his stance is wide in terms of where his arms is positioned. That's why every time Jermell Charlo went to open up, Tony Harrison just pop him with a jab and pop his head back. Either a jab or a 45 shot and pop his head back. And you've seen that a lot in that fight. Now, Tony Harrison, with him winning this fight, usually a guy that fights that type of fight against a champion usually doesn't get the victory. Because it's this myth that the challenger has to take it from the champion. Listen, that's a cliche. Like, that's an unwritten rule. That cliche doesn't have anything to do with whether a guy wins a round or not. When you look at the judges' scorecards, it doesn't say who won 10-9 or 10-8, and then it has remarks next to it. At the bottom of the scorecard, it doesn't say the total score and then it says final thoughts. No. You judge a fight off of a 10-point must system. Whether it's the champion or the challenger, who won the round. And I think that's something else that we have to get out of our brains as well, because we're thinking, okay, well, yeah, that round was close, but because he didn't take it from the champion, I'm going to give it to the champion. No, we're not supposed to do that. So we have to take this particular fight and how it was scored and the reaction to it. We have to take it as a lesson on how we should score fights, how effective a guy is in a round, and effective clean punching is the main criteria on who wins the round and who doesn't. It's not, did the challenger take it away from the champion? People say that after the fight. You name me one person that says, oh, well, Tony Harrison didn't take it from Jermell Charlo, so he deserved to lose the fight. You tell them to show them your scorecard. Show your scorecard. 9 out of 10 people that say Jermell Charlo won the fight don't have a scorecard. So this is a prime example of, if you're going to say somebody lost in boxing by decision, have a scorecard at the end of the day. Do I think Jermell Charlo was robbed? No. Do I think Jermell Charlo could have won the fight on the cards? Absolutely. But for the people that say Tony Harrison won the fight, I'm not mad at y'all either, because even on my scorecard, I have 4 rounds that are swing rounds, possibly 5 if I go back and check round 11. Jermell Charlo wasn't robbed in this fight. Hopefully we'll see the fight again. But Tony Harrison has all of the negotiating power now. It is what it is. But if y'all had a scorecard, post it in the comment section, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.